Shavua Tov, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, where you join me every Monday to Thursday for your top stories making headlines in Israel. As always, the Israel Brief is brought to you in partnership with these guys, Lay of the Land. And if you would like to subscribe to our weekly newsletter, please do so via our Facebook page or via the website. More details about that a little later in today's show. But I want to say hello to all our new members. I have Vigets to Germany, hello to Norway, hello to our new members all over the United States, South Africa, Australia, the United Kingdom, Canada, Sweden, all over the world. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're new to the show or you guys who join me every single day for this little bit of time together as we come together as a community and we take a look at those top stories making headlines. It means the world to us in Israel. We are on day 304 since the start of this war against Hamas and other Iranian proxies, because we can't forget that as soon as Hamas launched their attack against us on the 7th of October, it also gave the green light to other Iranian-sponsored proxies in the region. Israel is currently fighting a war on 7 different fronts, and to have you guys come together every single day to support us, it means the world to us. So on behalf of everybody here, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It is also a very, very tense time in Israel at the moment as we are preparing for a retaliatory strike by Iran, possibly Iran and proxies. And the entire country is on alert. We are standing by. Our safe rooms are at the ready. In fact, when I bring you the Israel Brief, it actually comes to you from inside my bomb shelter, which is currently prepped and ready for the inevitable. There are different reports. Some reports indicate that it could happen later today or tomorrow, and some reports say next week to coincide with the Jewish mourning day of Tisha B'Av. But I can tell you something, that while it's very, very tense in Israel, we're still trying to go about as normal a routine as possible. We will take our advice and orders from the IDF Homefront Command. We know to be vigilant, we know to be prepared. I'm not going to lie and tell you that we're not scared. We are nervous, we are a little bit of anxious, but we are also very resilient and very, very resolute. Our allies, the United States, have moved warships to the region, aircraft to the region, and we're looking at what kind of support we might get from regional allies and from other allies as well. So let's take a look at what we possibly could expect in a document published by the Times of Israel that was shown to mayors of various cities. What we are expecting is a possible unprecedented amount of rocket and drone attacks. This could lead to temporary suspension in certain infrastructure like electricity, water, cellular phone services, and other disruptions. We could see more civilians have to be evacuated from parts of the country and tented cities set up. At the moment, Israel's airspace is still open. It is still business as usual at Ben Gurion Airport. However, many national carriers have suspended their service. It is believed that Iran might not want to hit hard enough to ensure that Israel's response will be severe and deep inside either Lebanon or Iran, that it might be a restrained, however big attack. And there have also been threats from the Houthis in Yemen and threats to American positions in the Middle East should America also attack Israel. So we're sitting in very unprecedented, or should America attack Iran rather, we're sitting in very, very unprecedented waters. This is probably the most dangerous phase of the war since those first few days following Hamas's attack on the 7th of October. Nevertheless, we are resolute. There are some reports in Israeli media that perhaps Israel could launch a preemptive strike. In the meantime, there are no changes to the guidelines for Israeli citizens. However, the IDF have recommended that we all have the Home Front Command application on our phone. Most of us do. That alerts you what to do and where. So in the meantime, I know a lot of you guys out there want to know what you can do to help us. Be our Iron Dome of prayers. I know that so many of you are praying for us every single day. Keep putting that Iron Dome, that spiritual Iron Dome, over this country and its people. And no matter what happens, we will prevail. We will be strong. He's a gorgeous little redhead. We are all familiar with his image. A beautiful, now, today, 5-year-old little boy called Ariel Bibas. Today, Ariel turns 5. He is turning 5 in captivity. His family have asked that everybody lights a candle to celebrate his birthday. Ariel, along with his brother Kfir, who turned 1 in captivity a few months ago, and has spent more of his life as a hostage than as a free baby in the state of Israel, are the 2 youngest hostages still being held captive by Hamas in the Gaza Strip. There are 115 hostages still remaining. There is a lot of pressure now on Prime Minister Netanyahu to accept and sign a deal. He has been challenged quite openly by the negotiators, by President Biden, who this weekend told him, cut the bullshit, quote unquote, cut the bullshit. The Prime Minister says that Hamas are stalling, Hamas are putting extra demands in, and we have from the negotiators and members of Israel's security establishment that the Prime Minister is stalling. Nevertheless, we know that the hostages right now is Hamas's only real currency that they have, but we can only imagine what the families are going through. And we want our people home now. So today, please take a moment to say a prayer, light a candle, think of little Ariel turning 5 in captivity. We adore these little boys. Their gorgeous, smiling, red-headed faces are so familiar to millions of us around the world. Ariel loves Batman. He loves his dog, who unfortunately was killed by Hamas on the 7th of October. And in a moving and heart-wrenching opinion editorial in today's Daily Mail, his grandmother says, "Can you feel our longing for you?" Let's hope, let's pray that we reach a deal soon where all our hostages are released immediately. Yesterday, 2 Israelis were killed and 2 Israelis injured when a terrorist from the West Bank came into the Tel Aviv suburb or town of Holon and stabbed Rina Daniv, 66-year-old, to death, and Avraham Somechi to death. The terrorist was neutralized by the police. So this is still carrying on. This is still carrying on while Israel is fighting this war on multiple fronts. We're fighting Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon. We're fighting in Syria. We're fighting the Iranians. We're fighting the Iraqis. We're fighting in the West Bank. And we are fighting the Houthis in Yemen. So there is a ring of fire surrounding this country. But I have every faith in our IDF, our air defense array, and whatever happens in the next couple of hours to days, Israel will stand strong. Israel will prevail. And those on the right side of history will stand with us. So let's end today's broadcast on an extremely positive news, and it was an outstanding, historic weekend for Israel at the Olympics. Israel so far has won 6 medals, our biggest medal win in the history of our country. We have 4 silvers, we have 1 bronze and 1 gold. A huge mazal tov to Tom Mulvaney, who took the gold for windsurfing. We won a bronze and silver in judo, and another silver for windsurfing. And I think the real win for us in Israel was to see that flag raised proudly, and just so much love to our athletes who are competing with the utmost integrity, the utmost love for their country. They are all saying they're competing not just for the Olympics, which they have worked so hard for, but for this country, especially in our time of need. So I'm going to read off those medals for you right now. We have Peter Palchik, a bronze in men's judo. Inbar Lanier, a silver in women's judo. Raz Hershko, a silver in women's judo, and she took out her Turkish opponent in 14 seconds. Sharon Kenter, a silver in women's windsurfing. Tom Mulvaney, the gold in men's windsurfing. And Artem Dolgopiat, the silver in men's gymnastics. This is our best Olympics ever, and we're just getting started. We still have a lot more to come, so we're crossing fingers for our incredible athletes competing, holding their heads up high, representing the best of us at the Olympics. Now let's get to today's audience question, and it comes from Michelle in Toronto. She says, what is the mood like in Israel at the moment? Well, Michelle, the mood is very, very tense, but the mood is also one of resilience. We are a country, we are a people that knows that we are surrounded by hostile enemy countries, backed by Iran, who want to see the annihilation of the Jewish state. We still carry a lot of trauma from the 7th of October. I don't think that's going away anytime soon. But through that trauma, we still find our strength and we still find our resilience. And that is why Israel's indomitable spirit will not be defeated. So let's take a look at where you can find out more about Lay of the Land and the Israel Brief. First of all, on our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook community is at Lottel's site. And many of you watch your brief there, so welcome to it. If you haven't clicked on like or follow, please do so. We are on YouTube right here at the Israel Brief. If you like our content, please click that red subscribe button. And we are on X at Lay of the Land 5. Guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll join each other again tomorrow for the Israel Brief. God bless. See you tomorrow.